Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a Star Wars tier list where I'll be ranking characters based on whether they are criminally overrated, overrated, well rated, underrated, or criminally underrated. Some of these picks might get people mad, but hey, that's the fun of it. Let me know what you think in the comments and let's get right in. So before we start, I also want to thank my friend Alen for making this tier list for me. He made this and added all the characters and all that. So yeah, thank you very much, Alen. But hey, let's get into it. So our first character is Clone 99. So honestly, I do feel like he's well rated. Why? Because at the end of the day, he's not really a significant character, and a lot of people love him for how, you know, what he did in the Clone Wars and stuff, in the few episodes that he was in, or the one episode I don't quite remember. But he can't really be underrated because he's not significant enough to be underrated. He's also not overrated. I think he's well rated. Next up we have, this is this Stas Ali? No, this isn't Stas Ali. This is the Jedi that's she looks the same as Stas Ali. I really don't remember her name. But I think everybody gets who this is. Again, well rated because, I mean, she's just kind of a background Jedi, really. Sure, she was on the Jedi Council. She got slain by Savage Opress like a little bitch. Yeah, she's just well rated because no one really over-hates her, no one really over-likes her, right? She's just there. I think Alen Kolar is criminally underrated. Listen, this guy, he was actually one of the best duelists the Order had. Really cool Jedi, really cool character. I wish we saw more of him. The really thing that makes him underrated and that people don't appreciate him is because of the fact that in the duel between, between Jedi and Palpatine, he looked shit because he just got killed immediately. You know, that duel was not done correctly and did not serve Alen Kolar justice. Next up, we have Ahsoka. So it appears. So is this Ahsoka overall, or is this a old Ahsoka? I think this is an Ahsoka overall. Yeah, it's an Ahsoka overall. Overall, Ahsoka is well rated because I don't think people overhate her or overlike her. It's just as simple as that. Same with Anakin Skywalker. You could argue that he's overrated, but why I don't think he's overrated and I think he's well rated is because he's literally the main character of Star Wars. Star Wars is about him, and he's not overhated and overliked in that sense, I think, if that makes sense. Sard Ventress, I think she's a little underrated, to be honest. People don't appreciate her enough. I mean, she's a key character in the Clone Wars, and she's really cool. And by the way, that voice of hers, the voice actor, did a great job. It's just really cool. Next up is Aurra Sing. I think she's well rated just because, I mean, no one really cares about her, to be honest. So no one overhates her, no one overlikes her. That's gonna be a lot, like the case in a lot of these, where people just don't overhate or overlike a character, and that just makes them, you know, well rated. We have Bail Organa next. I think he's a little underrated. I really like him as a character. I wish we saw more of him in political scenes. He's like one of my favorite politicians in Star Wars. He's actually one of the only politicians that, you know, in Star Wars that is actually not corrupt and is a good guy. So yeah. Bears Offee. I think Bears Offee is well rated, to be honest. Again, not really overhated or overliked. Well rated. Kind of a background character. She's the main character in some of the episodes in the Clone Wars and that, but I think she's pretty well rated. Baylan Skoll, let's be honest, Baylan Skoll is criminally underrated. I mean, people do appreciate him, but not enough people appreciate him. Some people just think that he's kind of there, but this guy is awesome. And also, Ray Stevenson, who played him, who now sadly has passed away, did a great job. And this guy was honestly like maybe my favorite character in the Ahsoka show. He was great. Next up, we have Bendu. I think Bendu is also criminally underrated. I mean, come on, Bendu, like, he was just such a twist in Rebels. Just such a unique character. And he was a very good character. Very unique. Nothing that we've ever seen before. And I don't think enough people just appreciate him. Boba Fett. He's like one of my favorite Force users. Non-Force users in Star Wars. And I think he's well rated. Because again, I don't think that people dislike him too much or overlike him, you know? And sure, the Boba Fett show, well, didn't do him very much justice, but I don't really want to base it off that. So I think he's a well-rated character. However, Bo-Katan, I think she's a little underrated because to me, she's a very cool character, complex character. We saw her in the Clone Wars. We did see her in Rebels. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we did. I'm pretty sure of that. And of course, the Mandalorian show. maybe not Boba Fett show, but Mandalorian, and I really like her. Also, I like the live action version, very good. So I think she's a little underrated. Next up we have Bosk. He's well rated. Again, literally the only like argument I have that is plausible is that, you know, he's not overliked, he's not overhated. You know, can't really say anything else than that. Next up we have Cad Bane. I think he's well rated because I see a lot of people liking him and appreciating what he is. I don't think he's overliked, so he's not overrated. Interesting how there's nothing in overrated so far. Next up we have Cal Kestis. I think Cal Kestis is also underrated, not criminally, but I think he's underrated. Not enough people appreciate him, but not even enough people know about him, probably because he's from the games. So yeah, but he's a good character and he's a little underappreciated. We have Cara Dune next. I think she's a little underrated, to be honest. I mean, I really like her character in The Mandalorian, and not enough people kind of talk about her. So I think she is underrated, a little bit at least. We have this Jedi person that the only thing I know is that she's from the games. I don't even know which game. I don't remember, but I have seen some stuff on her, and I mean, she's not really. I guess underrated because she did put up, but nah, she's well rated because she's not even that significant, really. She shows up and kind of just, you know, I don't know. Just, no one likes her, no one dislikes her. I don't even know. I don't think anybody cares about this character. Next up we have, this is Hera. Is this Harrison Dule? No, hold up. Who is this? This is Harrison Dule's dad? I'm pretty sure he is. Yeah. I think this is Harrison Dule's dad. I think he is underrated, you know. He was a cool character. We saw him in the Clone Wars and the Siege of Ryloth or whatever that was. Saw him in Rebels. Good character, I think. Not enough people appreciate him. Next up we have Chewie. Chewbacca. I mean, I think he's well rated, okay? I think he's well rated. He's a good character from the original trilogy. We see him a little bit in the Clone Wars. We see him in Revenge of the Sith, which is really cool, and I don't really think people overlike him, so yeah, but he's not underrated, of course. However, Syndraulic is criminally underrated. Battlemaster of the Jedi Order, one of the best duelists the Jedi Order had. This guy, there's just not enough about this guy. I mean, first of all, there should have been a duel between him and Anakin in Revenge of the Sith. That was supposed to happen, and it got scrapped. Like, not enough people appreciate and truly understand how powerful Syndraulic truly is. So, yeah. Next up we have, this is Klieg Lars, right? I mean, he's just kind of there. He's like the most side characters, like, ever. Like, I mean, well rated. You can't really, you know, put him under or overrated. Next up we have Commander Cody, who I think is well rated as well. He's a great character. He's not underliked or or disliked or whatever, you know? And the same goes for Wolfie. The same argument goes for Wolfie. A lot of these characters so far are just, they're not overliked or over disliked, and they're just great characters. I think Crosshair as well, and I don't think he can be put on the rating because he's now such a significant character, you know? Darth Bane. This is the Darth Bane from Clone Wars, but I'm assuming we're just meaning Darth Bane overall. I think he's underrated, just because not enough people actually are really submerged in Legends and all that, and not enough people appreciate him. Could put him on well rated. Actually, let's put him on well rated. I don't think he's underrated. Darth Maul, I think he's criminally underrated. There's just not enough people that appreciate him and all that. He is such a top-notch character in the Clone Wars, in Rebels. Just peak. Darth Vader. See, this is like Anakin. Star Wars is all about him, right? So, I think people like over-like Vader. I think people over-like Vader, right? But the thing is, the Star Wars is about him. So, I don't want to put him in overrated or criminally overrated or whatever, because at the end of the day, Star Wars is about him, you know? So, next up, we have the sister. The daughter, sorry. She's underrated. I feel like all the Mortar's gods are just underrated in like every way possible, to be honest. So, yeah, she's underrated, and she's a very good character, I think. I mean, just that whole Mortar's arc in the Clone Wars was absolutely fabulous. Next, we have Dengar. There's nothing really to say about him. He's just a bounty hunter, well rated, not overliked, not over disliked. Next up we have, what was her name again? My god, how did I just forget her name? Mace Windu's apprentice. God, how could I forget her name? I have this brain freeze or whatever the hell it's... my brain is not working right now. I know her name. I talk about her all the time, and she's overrated. I mean, she is a very skilled duelist. She can use a pie. Well, she does use Form 7. So, yeah, she's underrated. Come on. Dexter Jester. I mean, just well rated, honestly. Like, he's not that significant in any way possible, and yeah, just nothing to say about him. Din Djarin, oh my, Din Djarin is like one of my favorite non-Force users ever. Okay, like season 1 and 2 of Mandalorian is just peak Star Wars, and I want to say he's underrated because just not enough people truly appreciate how well he's made and how of a complex character he is. You know, Count Dookie, my favorite Star Wars character ever, and I think he's criminally underrated. Let's be honest. Not enough people appreciate him, you know? Next up, we have Duchess Satine Kryze. I think she's a little underrated. You know, she's a good character in the Clone Wars. Very interesting character as well. So, you know. Echo. Echo, I think Echo's well rated. Enough people like him. No one over likes him. No one over dislikes him. You know. God, they're really making the same argument for a lot of characters here where they're not over disliked or over liked. I hope that's fine. I mean, they are technically good true arguments. Evekov. Oh, you know what? I think he's actually overrated. You know why he's overrated? Because I'm gonna base this off the fact that I look at a lot of lists of people rating, for example, Jedi and just Star Wars characters on power scale, right? And everybody gets Evekov. They just put him up too high. Like, they put him above Aegon Kollar, for example, which Aegon Kollar is way more powerful. He's better in every way than Evekov, and that's why I think Evekov is overrated, because people just overrate him on lists like that they make. Next up, we have Embo. I think Embo is criminally underrated. He's like, oh, dude, in the Clone Wars, he is so cool. Such a cool bounty hunter. And I think he's going to be like in the Mandalorian movie or something, which is pretty cool. Even Peel, I think he's overrated. People also overrate him on lists where they rate power scales, Jedi. And, bro, let's be honest. He's like a Yoda if Yoda was weak as fuck. I mean, bro got killed by wolves. Come on, man. Like, come on, man. Ezra Bridger, I think he's underrated. That's just really because of the hate Rebels gets as well from a lot of people still. And that makes Ezra underrated because he's a very cool character. It's complex. It's a good character. The Father, also underrated. I mean, speaks for itself. He's a Mortis God. All the Mortis Gods are underrated. And they're just one of the best characters in Star Wars. Like, that Mortis arc, again. Just such a good arc, you know? Next up, we have the Fifth Brother. I think he's overrated. People overrate him in, like, power scales, and a lot of that, just a lot. I see it too much, where they just put him too high, and I don't know, for some reason, some people even, like, put him above the Grand Inquisitor, which is just ridiculous in terms of power. So I think it's just overrated based of that. Finn, oh, this guy is not even a Star Wars character, but I'm putting him in a criminally overrated due to the fact that he's a sequel character. And, like, if there's even one good word spoken about a sequel character, they're just, you know, automatically criminally overrated. I mean, the fact that he even exists makes him criminally overrated, and he's not even a Star Wars character anyway, so, you know. Fives, oh my god, Fives is criminally underrated. Not enough people appreciate him. I mean, there's a big part of the community that loves this guy and, you know, all that, but he's just not appreciated enough. Next up, we have Moff Gideon. Moff Gideon. I think he's well rated, to be honest. I haven't seen anybody hate on him. I haven't seen anybody over-like him or anything like that. So I think he's well rated. Greedo. Do I want to... I kind of want to put him overrated, to be honest, because people just talk about him so much when he's really just not significant in any way possible. Really, he's just kind of there. Captain Rex, I think Captain Rex is well rated. He's not overrated. I think a lot of people would say he's overrated, but he's not, because he's just such a great character that he deserves that much love, you know? Grievous, I feel like Grievous is underrated, honestly, just because people literally, like, undermine him because of in the Clone Wars, because people say that he's a joke in the Clone Wars. I don't think he's a joke in the Clone Wars, because it shows, I mean, he's still ruthless. He's still said that he killed a lot of Jedi in the Clone Wars. It just shows that he runs away every time because he's fighting like Obi-Wan and all that stuff, you know? And just, I guess maybe the Clone Wars undermines him, but I don't know. I feel like that makes him underrated a little bit, but I could be well rated as well. I don't know. This guy from the Kenobi show. I would have put him underrated actually, because I liked him as a character in the Kenobi show. It showed that he was an honest guy, he was a good guy, and all that. And it was a little cool addition, so I'll put him on underrated, you know. Han Solo, let's be honest. Well, no, I don't want to put him on criminally overrated, because criminally overrated is pretty much just for sequel characters. But I think Han Solo is overrated. Why? Because at the end of the day, what does he do? He does do a lot. He's a great character in the original trilogy. He's a big part of the original trilogy, one of the original characters of Star Wars. But, like, he's not that significant compared to everybody else. And this is coming from someone that, like, I'm the only person in the world that likes the Solo movie. I like the Solo movie, and I'm still putting Han Solo on overrated, you know? So, yeah. Harrison Dula, you know what, I wouldn't be honest, I wouldn't put her on overrated, because I see people talk about her way too much. Just way too much for my liking. People overlike her, I think. Oh my god, how do I forget these names, bro? Hondo, I love Hondo, and he's criminally underrated, to be honest. Not enough people appreciate him. He's one of my favorite characters in the Star Wars. He's just so hilarious, let's be honest. Next up, we have Hunter. Oh my god, how am I almost forgetting these names? Hunter is well rated, I'd say. Nothing comes to mind about him being overhated or overliked or anything like that. So yeah. Is that IG-88 or IG-11? I'm not sure. I think that's IG-11. See, I can't tell because is that the droid from the original trilogy, or is that the droid from the Mandalorian? If it's the droid from the Mandalorian, I think he's underrated. He was so cool in the Mandalorian, right? If it's the droid from the original trilogy, I'd just put him on well rated. But I'm gonna assume this is IG-11 from the Mandalorian, and I'll put him on underrated. So, yeah. Next up, we have, I almost said Pedro Pascal. I mean, that is Pedro Pascal, but, you know, yeah, that's, what, God, what, how, what's your name, bro? What's your name? Is that even, that's not Pedro Pascal. Man, the Din Djarin is Pedro Pascal. How the fuck, is it, wait, actually, is that Pedro Pascal? Hold up. Are these the same? No, that's not Pedro Pascal, is it? No, that's not Pedro Pascal. That's Pedro Pascal, Din Djarin. But this is... Dude, and Cassian Andor. Oh my god, how did I forget that, bro? I don't know why I said he's Pedro Pascal. I know Pedro Pascal's Din Djarin. Either way, I think he's underrated. He's such a good character. The Andor show is one of the best things you've gotten from Star Wars. And he's also in the Rogue One movie, and he's just an awesome character, let's be honest. Jabba, well rated. He's just a big fat slug, you know, what else can I say? Jar Jar Binks, he's well rated, and he is hated a lot, but he deserves the hate because he's fucking annoying. Really annoying. The actor did not deserve the hate, though. Let's be honest about that. So, yeah, but he's not underrated because I don't want to put him on underrated because he's annoying as hell, so. Next up, we have this guy. That's Cal Kestis Master, but I don't remember his name. But I think he's underrated. He's just not appreciated enough, and he's a really cool character. He's good. He's cool. Next up, we have, is that, hold up, because this is 5. Is that Jesse? Is that Jesse? I think it is Jesse. if it's Jesse, I think Jesse's also underrated. I think a lot of the clones are just generally overrated, or like underrated. I mean, Jesse's one of the greatest clone characters ever in Star Wars as well. So, you know. Next up, we have Agent Callus. That's his name. Dude, Agent Callus is criminally underrated. The character development in Agent Callus is top notch. It's top notch. It's top notch. Okay, like I love Agent Callus as a character. He's just great. Next up, we have Kenan Jarrus. Kenan Jarrus is also underrated. Okay, he's cool. I love him. He's like a really cool, a great Jedi, a great character. Everything about him is great. You know, Toydarian King weird guy. Well rated. Who cares about this guy? Really? I mean, he's just there. He just dies and all that. Ki-Adi-Mundi. I mean, you know, he's just disgusting. Penis Conehead. Either way, this guy's just well rated because he deserves the hate he gets, and he's most certainly not overrated because there's no one that overlikes this guy. Kit Fisto. Kit Fisto is criminally underrated. Let's be honest. Kit Fisto is. I love Kit Fisto. He's such a great character. One of the coolest Jedi. One of the best Jedi. Blah 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 blah. I can go on and go on and go on Kit Fisto. He's just great. Kylo Ren, you can fuck off to criminally overrated because that one person that spoke with you being good made you criminally overrated immediately. And sequels, you trash. This is the Kaminoan Prime Minister, and what's his name? Like Sol Mai Tong Ping Pong. I don't know. He's just well rated, really. I mean, these like side characters that aren't very much main characters, they can't really be put in overrated or underrated. You know, I just don't see it happening. However, Lando Calrissian is underrated. I think he's one of my favorites as well. He's just so cool. I love the actor, and I love him both in the original trilogy, and I love him in the Solo movie. Leia Organa, I think Leia Organa is well rated. I think enough people appreciate her as a character, enough people, you know, but no one overlikes her, unlike Han Solo, who I think is overliked to the point that makes him overrated because he's liked too much for what he is, you know. Luke Skywalker, also well rated, speaks for itself. It's the same as with Anakin. He's like the main character and all that. That is Mina Bontari's son. There's like, his name is something Bontari. Either way, he's just a random boy in the Clone Wars who is really stupid and all that, and no one hates him, no one overlikes him. You know, Mace Windu. Oh, actually, I want to say Mace Windu is underrated. Okay, because I feel like there is a group of people that just don't appreciate him enough. You know, so I really want to say that he's underrated. We have Blue Bitch. Blue Bitch. This, what was his name again? The Speaker of the Senate, the guy, the Palpatine's little bitch. Either way, he's well rated. He's just there, you know. Obi-Wan Kenobi's also well rated. Self-explanatory. Mon Mothma is underrated, just like Bail Organa. She's a great senator and all that. Also liked her in Andor, great character. Then what was your name? Well, the witch from the Ahsoka show, and we also see her in the Mandalorian. She is, I think she's well rated because I don't even like her character that much, really. However, Mother Talzin is criminally underrated. She's like one of the most complex characters in Star Wars, and she's just so unique. Not enough people care about her. Newt Gunray, well rated. Who really cares about him? I don't know. No one. Omega, I think Omega is. I think she's underrated because people overhate her for some reason. I don't even know why. She's a good character, you know, and people overhate her because they say that Bad Batch is like taken over by her or something like that. I don't even know, man. They're just Jo Castaner is underrated, criminally underrated. She's really cool. I like her. That was Klieg Lars. This is Owen Lars. Again, he's just there, you know, well rated. Padme Amidala. Padme Amidala. She's well. I don't think anybody's overhating or overliking her. She's perfectly well rated. Palpatine. You know why I'm putting him in underrated? You know why? I think everyone that's watching has seen, like, for example, stuff where people say that, ooh, Darth Vader is the greatest movie villain. Darth Vader is the greatest villain in Star Wars. Darth Vader is the greatest villain ever. Okay, valid. He's one of the best villains ever. But guess what? Guess who is the most perfect and greatest movie villain ever? Palpatine, Darth Sidious. And for that reason, that people don't see that, I am putting him underrated. He is the greatest villain. I mean, he is the one that made Vader, manipulated Vader, controlled him. He is behind the scenes. He has been behind the scenes for decades, controlling everything, you know? Phasma, you can fuck off to criminally overrated. However, Plo Koon is the most criminally underrated character ever. Literally, just how do people not appreciate him? He is one of the coolest and greatest Jedi characters ever. Ever. Ponkrell, you're just a bug. No one cares about you. You're well rated. Ponkrell, he's well rated. A lot of people hate him, but for good reasons, and he's not overrated in any way. He's also not underrated. Pre Vizsla, I think Pre Vizsla is a little underrated, honestly. He's a really cool character, really complex character. I love him. It's great. Qui-Gon Jinn, I think he's well rated because everyone appreciates him for what he is, and he's definitely not overliked. Quinlan Vos. I mean, I think he's underrated, and also like the stuff that he's in the comics is really cool. So he's a really cool character, I'd say, and I think he's underrated. Yeah. Captain Rex. Oh, hold up, because we had did we not have Captain Rex earlier? I swear we did. Where is he? There he is. So this is old Captain Rex. Well, both old and young Captain Rex are well rated, I think. You know, you can fuck yourself, you fucking slag. This is the worst character ever. This banking client guy that tried to like fuck Padme. Rush Clovis. Well rated. Again, no one over hates him, so yeah. Oh my god, Mandalorian wannabe Jedi. God, how am I forgetting these names, man? Her name is I don't know. Either way, she's well rated. I don't think anybody overhates or over dislikes her. Yeah, that. I think Savage is a little underrated, honestly. I mean, people don't even appreciate the fact that he has a lot of potential. He could have been something great if he survived, you know? Saw Gerrera, I think, is criminally underrated. I think he's great. I think he's a very good character, you know? Is that the second sister? First sister? This is the third sister. This is the second sister, right? Or is it vice versa? But I'd put both of these on well rated, really, because they're just there. Shakti, criminally underrated. Let's be honest. She's not appreciated enough. She also is one of the best duelists in the order. She uses Form 2, same form as Dooku. She was considered to be basically the best Form 2 user outside of Dooku. So yeah. You are so overrated. Your bitch ass is so over. Why did everybody simp for her? Why? She looks like a fucking skeleton scrotum looking ass fucking clone of Palpatine fucking lamp thing. No. Hell no. That makeup is atrocious. That hairstyle is terrible. Hell nah. No. Shin Hati, fuck you. You're overrated. And nothing against the actor. The actor did a great job portraying a little bitch, you know? So, because just no, I'm not hating on the actor. The actor did a great job. The actor is great. Just the character, you. Oh, fuck off, Snoke. Just go over there already. The Sun. Underrated. Yeah, just like every Warner's God. Jango Fett. Honestly, I think he's well rated. I think a lot of people talk about him enough, and he's not overliked. Saw Gerrera's sister. Let's be honest, she's overrated. I mean, she's an arrogant little. Maybe she wasn't. I don't know. When I watched the show, I laughed when she died either way, you know? So, that's cool. Who the hell is that? Yo, who is that? Wait, who is that? Yo, I don't know who this is. What? Who is that? I have no idea what this is, honestly. This inspector guy, investigator guy from the Clone Wars that looks like a fucking deformed watermelon. He's well rated. I mean, no one really cares. He also was a little bitch to Padme. Well, Padme was being a little stubborn cow to him, so you know. Grand Moff Tarkin, well rated, very good character, top notch, well rated. This bitch from Bad Batch, she's well rated as well. No one really cares about her that much, but wouldn't put her on underrated because of that, because she's not that. She's just, you know, Grogu. Okay, well, I'm reluctantly gonna put him on overrated, and the reason is a lot of people just overlike him in The Mandalorian. A lot of people watch The Mandalorian just because of him and like, oh, cute little baby. By the way, people that call him Baby Yoda, fucking kill yourself, alright? His name is Grogu, Din Grogu, not Baby Yoda, okay? That's not his name, alright? Or at least call him the child, you know? Just don't call him Baby Yoda. That's fucking stupid, alright? And I love him. He's a great character. I like him as an addition to Star Wars, but people just overlike him, okay? Next we have the Grand Inquisitor. And I think he's well rated as well. I mean, no one overhates or overlikes him. I wish we saw maybe his betrayal of the Jedi Order in Order 66. That'd be cool. Oh, fuck you. Whoever's, like, she's overrated because people that actually justify her being a good character are stupid. She's a little crybaby in the Kenobi show. Just, the only thing she does is, fucking screams like a little child and stuff like that. Grand Moff Grand Admiral Thrawn is underrated. He is such a good character. Watto, well rated. I mean, well rated. You know, just well rated. Yaddle, I think Yaddle is criminally underrated. People do not appreciate her enough. She's so powerful in the Force, skilled duelist. I think that Tales of the Jedi did not do her justice. She should have put up a bigger fight against Dooku, to be honest. Yoda, I think Yoda is well rated. He's very well rated. He's just perfectly rated. You know, he's a great character. Love him. One of the best characters in Star Wars. And last we have, bro, what was her name? From Rebels. How am I for... Either way, I think he's actually a little underrated, to be honest. So, yeah, he's a cool character, and you know, I feel like out of the Ghost crew, he's like one of my favorites. He's just cool. Zeb, that's his name. And I actually don't know who this is. Like, who is this? Who is this person? I have no idea who that is. Who is that? Who are you? Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, this is my final tier list of underrated and overrated Star Wars characters. So, yeah, I mean, let me know what you guys think about this tier list. If you agree with my ratings, you know, where I'm putting them. Whether it's criminally overrated, overrated, well-rated, underrated, or criminally underrated. You know, which characters you'd change, where you'd put what, which ones specifically you disagree or agree on. You know, let me know in the comments. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Alright, that wraps up my Star Wars character tier list. Do you agree with my rankings, or am I completely wrong? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss an upload. Remember that a video like this comes out every Friday, so every Friday I'll be posting a ranking video or a tier list video. Join the Discord server, the link's in the description, and if you want to support the channel and get exclusive perks, consider joining our Patreon. Thanks again for watching. This is The Way, may the Force be with you. Until then, I will see you next time. Hey, you didn't watch it? Well, check out this video on the left side of the screen, which is specifically recommended for you, or check out the playlist on the right of the screen, which contains similar videos to this one, made by me, of course. Hey, remember, subscribe.